What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to today's episode of Solutions. So, I'm Cam,
I'm Jay Villa.
and on today we're going to be discussing how important it is that you watch what you say around your kids or anyone that's a, maybe younger sibling, family, friend, whatever that you an influence on. So, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and enjoy the video.
Don't fall in Craig.
So is it like a specific situation that made you want to do this topic? Like, oh yeah, you was talking about like AJ.
What we just talked about in the car, we was talking. So shout out to my little cousin who just got baptized today. He gave his life over to God fully. He submitted his life to Christ. He got dipped in the water. He was ready for the next level of life. But this in particular young fella could also cuss you out so good, make you rethink why the hell you even got up that morning. I mean, cuss you out. And you just be like you can't even say nothing. Because it's like, how do you know how to cuss that well and put that cuss word with that cuss word together to cuss somebody out that good to where you just can't even have a response for them. So we was talking about that, and it was kind of like I kind of played guilty because I'm around him a lot, and sometimes I would, cuss like a sailor. And I know he pick up on certain things. I know it's not just me because you got all this TikTok and all of this stuff like that, but definitely me being an influence in his life, I'm sure that contributed to it somehow, and kind of like laughing it off all the time, so it's kind of got to reel it back in because, these kids at school, right. It's like, where's the respect, around these adults, around other parents and stuff. It's just like these kids, they have no respect. Like back in the day, we'd be kids, like we'll cuss, but then we see an adult, it's kind of like you get it together. Like, oh, let me not cuss or let me be quiet about it. These kids now in schools, they look you up and down and proceed to cussing like I wish you would say something to me. That's what I get from them. But that's kind of how we got on that topic for today.
Well, spare the rod, spoil the child. And, you lead by example. Like the first, I don't want to say line of defense, but the best countermeasure is preventative countermeasures. Like, just make sure that you're being intentional with what you say, the type of music you playing around them, because I wasn't there when he got baptized. They started the service with that. So I pulled up like literally minutes after he came out the water, but like during the service, him and his two friends that they family friends, they was just asking me questions about the service and just asking me questions in general. Like, children are inquisitive, like they're curious creatures. You know what I'm saying? When you at that age, they just asking questions. And, believe it or not, what you say sticks with them. Even if what you say specifically isn't what they remember the kind of person that you are as they get older. And that's what drives them to either come back to you or go away from you. And if you a good influence and they know that you the one good influence as they going up, and all the other videos that we discuss about, the black family, just being positive in general, like being intentional in your conversation, you're going to be the person that they think about when they're going through a situation that they don't feel comfortable bringing to their parents, say if they're in a poor environment, like, because you were the one individual that decided to intentionally be positive in your conversations. Like for the holidays, if you sit up and listen, all people talk about is other people, their job, and how they don't like their job. Like, if we talking about something productive, you know what I'm saying? When we come together, like family assets, like, okay, you going to school, why do you want to get this degree? And when you go to school, like, make sure you networking, which is something I've never heard come out of the people that have influenced me to go to school. I've never heard that come out of their mouth. It's about influence. It's about networking, not influence. That's everything. As far as landing a position, if you want to be a business owner coming out, all of that is networking. Like, you're a business professor. If you want to be a business owner, talk to your business professor. They're the ones that are most likely to connect you with the people that you need to be connected to. Like, you being intentional with your language will make you the individual that kid will come talk to, or that kid will want to be like growing up. You can see the difference. I ain't gonna lie. Like, people's spirits is almost visible. Like, you can read people's energy. Like, energy, y'all may know it is energy. Like, that's very real. So I'm real.
And if you can't read people's energy, I implore you, it's the word of the day, implore. Not employ, but implore you to do something in your life that is maybe not do something. Find something in your life that is maybe a hindrance from you moving forward in life and stop it. Like, stop it. It don't have to be everything, but it can be something. It can be one thing. Start with something small, because when I stopped doing certain things, like my discernment, like you just said, spiritual awareness is heightened. Like, I definitely see things on people, and I know whether to even with conversations, make it a short conversation, make it a conversation to engage in, speak and keep it moving, or ignore. We talked about in the episode before, my ignoring has went above and beyond, and I stopped doing certain things that were hindering me from moving forward and maturing. And now certain things that sometimes people say, I just ignore it. I ignore it. Like, it don't even matter. So I implore you to, if you struggling with that, trying to, find spiritual balance or have discernment in your life, maybe stop doing one thing that's just hindering you from doing that.
I think I say the first step to that is really assessing your life. Like, if you don't really know where to start, I say look through your bank statements. Like, look where all your money is going. Like, one thing I'm trying to think, because honestly, they was like, I had to curate the content towards what people want to hear and what people are in tune with, because I do sit up and watch finance, and he was like, don't nobody want to listen about mergers and acquisitions. So I know a lot of people around my age like to party. They like to be, at the bar, clubs, whatever you want to call it, or what do you say the old head that's called?
Juke
joints.
Juke joint.
Like,
for all the old heads, seasoned for real old heads. They call it the juke joint.
Like, bro, like, step away from that environment. Like, go maybe to a networking event, like with Eventbrite. Like, go to a networking event in an industry that you want to go into. Like, even if you're uncomfortable, that's where your growth is. And that's when you'll get around the people. Like, I personally have to be stimulated. That's something that's huge as far as me and my wife is like, I have to be stimulated. Like, we have to be able to have high quality conversations. Because if we sitting up and, like I shared, what's normal for us, we ain't doing nothing but talk about how we working all the time, how we don't like what we do, and talking about other people. That's not going to stimulate me.
Yeah.
So go and be intentional in putting yourself in environments where you're going to be stimulated. Be intentional in surrounding yourself with people that are either like-minded or are further ahead than you. That's what we call mentorship. We was just talking about the YN, talking about respect. Like, bro, like, now don't get me wrong. If they not a business owner, don't let them discourage you from going into business. But if they've actually done what it is that they're sharing with you, or they've actually wished that they have gone into that space and they telling you, like, bro, like, take it serious, or they telling you, like, I'm telling you, if I was still in school right now, like, bro, network with your professors, because that's the closest that you'll get. Like, when I was talking about Eventbrite, setting up your LinkedIn, like, presenting yourself the right way. Like, if you're a young man, you don't want to be at a networking event in your language, like, you can hear the slang, like, fo and shorty and bro, like, you got to know how to speak. You have to know how to speak professionally. People call it code switching. You could be professional and be yourself. So that's a respect thing in itself.
I love code switching, and sometimes people have mixed feelings about code switching. I sat on a panel once, and we just gonna sway a little bit. We gonna come right on back to what we talking about. But I did a panel once, and I was talking about code switching, and one black girl, she was like, I love that we teach code switching. She was like, we shouldn't have to code switch, but it's good to know it. And I agree, but I disagree. And when I say about code switching, I'm not telling you not to be yourself when you around other people in a professional setting, but it's certain things that we have to just tone back on in professional settings, just so that we're not presenting a false narrative or being offensive and things like that, because the way me and him may conversate off camera is not how we should maybe all the time portray that on camera, you know what I'm saying? Especially about certain topics, or the way, me and my aunt may talk you know, when her kids and stuff ain't around, it's not ways that we can't talk when they around, because like we talking about, they're sponges. Can't have certain conversations around them. The way I'm at work and when I'm handling rentals or when I'm doing something with the building, I can't talk to a customer how I talk to him. Or I can't talk to a customer how I'm talking to my homie when we finna go out and have, we at the lounge or something like that. I'm just gonna use that. I don't go to no club. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I mean when I say code switch. I'm not telling you to put on conquistador voice and talk like this and do this. No, you can talk like yourself. Use more diction. You know, can't be like, hey, yo, hey, so this room gonna be 145. You give me 250 down. You know what I'm saying? You got the rest. You can't, really do that, but just talk professionally. And that's what we mean with code switching. However your professional is, and your accent and how you talk. But I love code switching because you can't be just one way all the time. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be just professional all the time. You can't be, I don't want to say who.
Say Ebonics.
Ebonics.
Yeah, you can't be
all the time.
Ebonics.
You can't just be straight Ebonics all the time. We got to have some kind of a balance. And sometimes it's fun. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm coming to you as I'm not an old head. He called me an ON all the time. I'm not an ON.
You're not a YN.
I'm not a YN.
And you're not an OG yet.
I'm not an OG
You a sophomore.
I'm a sophomore. I forgot what I was even about to say. What was it? What the hell was you talking about?
Bro, how you shouldn't be cutting us.
What was we talking?
So, as he shared, just be professional. Like, me personally, like how I'm talking right now, like, this is probably the same tone I use in, I ain't gonna say tone, but the same style of talking that I use in basically every setting. Like, even if I'm around, whether I'm on 73rd and Cornell, or if I'm downtown looking at architectural drawings with my mentor, like, this is how I talk. And eventually, as you present yourself professionally, you'll become, I don't want to say bougie, I say more sophisticated. And that's what will allow you to present yourself properly. Like, me having my locks, in some settings, I wear my locks down. I wear my locks down in settings where I know that I'm around people that have an understanding of who I am, or if I'm trying to portray something specific. But in general, if I'm going to like business meetings, I may wear my hair up or something, like just making sure that I'm presenting myself the way that I want to be presented. Me being a young black man with locks that's specifically focused on ministry, because ministry come first. I ain't gonna lie, I talk about business all the time, but the whole purpose of us doing this type of content is helping the younger generation, because society is intentionally forcing them into a box. Like, I may go downtown, my locks down, may have on the same type of fit as the next person. You would never see me with a ski mask on. But I wear some jeans and a hoodie and some foam posits, which is about as far as I go. I don't wear Jordans no more, I ain't gonna lie. But, you may be profiled, and honestly, you have to ask yourself, don't give them too much leeway, because the racism is there. Let's keep it real. Like, the whole reason we in this country right now is because of racism. The whole reason you don't know what your real last name is or what country you from, all of your real language, all of that is racism. So don't give them too much leeway ever. The people, you know what I'm saying? But if you were raised in, let's say, they shoes, and the only insight that you have on black people with the younger generation with locks, the whole YN community, is people with ski masks. Like, you either a celebrity, a rapper, whatever, and a young man on the street, you like, oh yeah, you be hooping. Everybody I talk to, like, oh yeah, you don't hoop no more. Like, no, I'm a businessman, because we don't have enough businessmen. We have enough athletes. We need more businessmen. You know what I'm saying? You have to leave your community. Like, we're in Matson Park Forest right now, so you gotta drive 20 minutes to Orland Park, Tinley Park, just to get a like certain things that should be around you. Like, we need black-owned dental practices. We need black-owned dermatologists. Those are the types of things that we need in our community. Healthy restaurants. So we need business owners.
Bro, we gotta go try this black-owned restaurant right down the street. It's in Park Forest. Vegan Sweet Treats. It's right here on Salt Trail. They just opened up like a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Black-owned. We gotta go try them out there in Park Forest. If you live in Park Forest area, whatever, go try out Vegan Sweet Treats right there in Park Forest. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro.
See, I got a cuss. I got see. There's no kids around, so but I'm working on it.
And if you're a kid watching this, just you know what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
Avoid using cuss words. Build your vocabulary. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
right.
If you're using big words that your parents can't understand, you are on the right path, and you will make them proud because they're gonna see that you will end up being a better version of them. Which real parents, that's what they want. They just want you to be better. That's what my dad tell me all the time. He like, I just want you to be better than I was. Because he got the know-how. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what it should be. You should groom your children to be better. You don't want them to be worse or want them to be stagnant. Same place you are. Be better. Have bigger and better dreams. Most definitely.
Well, I guess the next thing is like, do as I say, not as I do is out the window. And if you're a parent watching this, or maybe you're about to be a parent, or you want to be a parent in the future, make sure that you're intentional. Make sure you analyze your existing lifestyle, because God showed me that children are very spiritual. Like, even though, they're going to listen, whatever, they're going to reciprocate, whatever. What you pour into them and what they see you doing is what they're going to do. Like, I had a family friend, he was around my dad's age. Like, he was one of his family friends. He used to sell weed. He was seeing him, like, his stepson seen him selling weed. And then they went out of town. They went to Jamaica. His stepson got caught up. Like, they held him up for ransom because he was trying to sell weed when they was in Jamaica. And he had to, like, bro, I forgot.
You tried to take weed to Jamaica.
Bro, no, not
or he went to Jamaica.
Not customs, but he was like, bro, they was doing business. He was doing business out there, and they like held him up for ransom. And I'm like, my dad was like, how can you get mad at your stepson when he's selling weed because he seen you selling weed? Like, even though you think they just playing a game, they just on their phone, like they're watching what you do. Like, you tell them go to school, you didn't go to school.
Yeah.
You telling them pay attention, you did not. Like, they're watching what you do because you're their role model. Yeah. Like American Gangster with what's his name that was under Bumpy Johnson? Frank Lucas. Like Frank Lucas. His cousin in there that was playing T.I., he was supposed to be a professional baseball player. I'm saying Frank Lucas set up the meeting with, I think it was like the Yankees or something. The character T.I. was playing didn't go to the meeting. He was like, Uncle Frank, I want to be like you. I want to be a drug dealer. I'm saying he got the potential to be a professional baseball player. But because you saying do as I say, not as I do, he ended up getting killed.
Yep, gone.
In a police raid. He ended up getting killed when they raided the projects. Could have been a professional athlete. Had we taught him anything other than sports, he maybe would have took that contract and invested in the private equity I'd be talking about, in the venture capital I'd be talking about, which is why LeBron James, run and dunk. I know y'all understand run and dunk. LeBron James is a billionaire because of his business portfolio, not because of his athletic contracts.
Yeah, you're right.
I ain't gonna flame y'all too much.
I agree with you on the do as I say, not as I do needs to be done, because that is how. And if you're watching, hopefully you're not a great grandmother by now. How someone I was associated with was a grandmother at 26. You heard me. 26. Because the do as I say, not as I do, or whatever. Because your daughter, she had a daughter at 13. So she was 13, had a daughter. Her mom, as I can recall, had dudes in and out of the house. She has a daughter at 13. Grow up, has dudes in and out of the house. So what does your daughter see? My mama do it. So you at school got boys coming in and out of the house. Guess what happens when your daughter turns 13? She pregnant. You 26 years old. 26. Barely got your critical thinking part of your brain formed, because it really don't kick in till you 25. It don't really fully form. So your critical thinking really ain't even there, and you a grandmother. Because all your daughter see is you got dudes coming in and out. So she got boys coming in and out. Hopefully, by this time, she should probably be on her way to great-grandmother. Not grandmother, because this was back when I was 26. So that baby should be, pushing 13. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like it is. The do as I say, not as I do. Like, you need to educate and teach your kids and be good role models, because they see what you do. And you can't get mad. You can't get mad because that's what it is. She got mad at me because I got a world's greatest grandma t-shirt.
Your grandma ain't no.
You a grandma? No, they're staying in. You a grandma. How you get mad? I did buy it to be petty. We all went over there. I was like, hey, I got you this shirt. I got a visor. You know, that's what grandmothers wear. They wear the visors. They wear the t-shirts, world's greatest grandma. We got my other homie got us some Skechers. You a grandma. So it's time for you to act like what you did.
No.
So don't be mad at nobody else because we poking fun.
No, that's a fact. As I shared previously, to close, like, vocabulary, your language, how you presenting yourself. Like, are you using terms husband and wife? Are you husband and wife? Or are you boyfriend and girlfriend? They see their parents as boyfriend and girlfriend, or even less, baby daddy and baby mama. Like, what do you expect your son to go do? What do you expect your daughter to go be? Like, change your language. That starts with you. You can't use the term husband and wife if y'all are not married. So
True.
That's what y'all goals should be. You should be dating to marry. Niggas like, oh yeah, well, I got hoes, and I'm gonna wait until a certain age, knowing you finna be sleeping with females until you 30. When you say you feel like you're gonna be prepared, you're gonna be a baby daddy by that point in time. And as he shared, you're not gonna be mature enough to make intentional decisions that you need in order to raise a child, which is why we are where we are today. People talk about voting and how we at the bottom of the totem pole financially. That starts in the household. That's a masculine leader in the family. This is what we're doing. That's a mother nurturing and supporting whatever he says, because the man is the leader, and the leader should be led by God. But I digress. Without that structure, we have nothing. Because whoever we put in office for 4 years, as you can see, that's not going to save us. Obama was in office for 2 terms. That didn't save the black community. What saves the black community is us. When your pastor started talking about black businesses, bro, that blew my mind. I
was looking at you. I was like, I wanted to see his reaction when our pastor was like, we having a black business expo. Because he's all about that. He's all about like black people supporting and stuff like that. But as you heard him, right black businesses, they got to be legit. They got to come in. Even when we have stuff going, he be like, hey, we need something with the roof. And he'll say it. If anybody knows a reputable black company, when I say reputable, means they going to show up. They going to give me a decent price. They going to do what they supposed to do because I'm going to pay you. But I need this work to be done right. You know what I'm saying? He's heavy on that. But he's always going to look for black first. He heavy on that. But he won't it done right. Because one thing about my pastor, you know, you see him, you saw him, he code switch. You seen him in pastor form today.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He's also the shepherd of that house, but him handling business, he was in HR. So he got that HR background. I need this done right. I need it now. He was an HR for Crest, another HR for another big company and stuff like that. So his code switching, you don't want to see that dude. You don't want to see Jeffrey Lynn Smith. You always want to encounter Pastor Smith. Jeffrey Lynn Smith, a whole nother dude. You better get it together. But I'm sorry.
No.
I'm closing.
No, that's so. With that said, if you want the best for your kids, figure out how you can improve, and then tell them how you acknowledge the problem and how you curated the solution and how you executed on it. So. With that said, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, y'all have a blessed day. You can do what you want to do. I'll do what I want to do.